Not next week, 2 weeks. Yep.
Where is that?
That's for the Mixer Fiddle Camp. They're doing. We're in a musical being out at Carmel High School.
This is the BBC. This is a test of the sound system. Okay.
Woo! Howdy darn doody, y'all. Yeehaw! This here fine chapeau once belonged on the head of Reverend Cynthia, but I snagged it. I stole it because I thought it was mighty pretty. Welcome to CSA Sunday. CSA celebrating something amazing. What are we celebrating? We're celebrating oneness and spirit, and we're all one. Yes, it's a Shihadeh day, birthday day today. So it's kind of a Shihadeh dad day, do day. It's wonderful, it's good. And it's glad to have you here to celebrate it all with us. So, all right, we got a whole lot of shaking going on this morning. It's going to be a great day. I think we're just going to move along. We'll get Sifu Mark Angel up here, and he's going to pull down the heavens for us, and we'll get rolling. All right, see you in a bit.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming. So if we can all stand up. So sometimes in our world, we forget that we are all one. There's only one tree. We are just leaves. Individual leaves, but one tree. And this brings the leaves into the tree and reminds us it's one. As we draw our hands up, we feel that sky energy coming down through the leaves, into the trunk, into the roots, into the earth. Take a deep breath in as our hands come up. And slow breath out. Revitalizing ourselves, feeling that life force energy pulse through us. And we gather. And as that energy pulses through us, it spills out and fills the room, creating a sacred space going forward in this very room. If we can stay standing and sing.
Thanks again for coming, everybody. Thanks for watching online. Can you hear me in Australia? Oh, sorry. Apparently it's 3 o'clock in the morning in Australia then. Sorry about that, but thanks, anybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Wonderful to have you. Gosh, I loved my dad. I did. Yeah, Graham Claude Hayward. Yeah, born 6/9/1919. How about that? Isn't that amazing? Which means my grandmother was born in 1899. Isn't that amazing? But he was wonderful. You would have liked my dad. You would have liked my dad, really. Yeah, he loved life. He was great. He also liked to have a beer, and every day was sort of he would like to have a beer around about lunchtime and stuff. But even towards the end of his cancer, and there was drugs, and he'd be on the pillow, out of it, really. And then I'd sort of go up and say, "Hey, Dad, do you want a beer?" And he'd go, "Oh yeah, sure, fine." So, and he loved Stella Artois, so I drink whenever I have a Stella Artois. I always do a toast to Dad. So he's up there too. So bless all dads. I know we've got some great dads here today, and thank you everybody so much. It's such an extraordinary thing. Thank you. All right. I'm always crazy about our youth teachers. They're just such extraordinary beings, and just none more so than the wonderful Lisa Petty. And here she comes, no doubt, with Amelia, who is a great hugger, by the way. I got an Amelia hug today. Woo, really? All right. Lisa, thank you so much.
Good morning. Happy Father's Day, happy birthday, Karen, and happy almost summer solstice. So today's lesson downstairs is going to be Inner Light, and I chose that in conjunction with the summer solstice because we're coming up on our longest day with the most light that we'll have all year. And we're going to read a book, but it's spoken for right now. Journey to the Rainbow's End, that tells the story of looking for something outside of yourself, only to find that it's actually inside of yourself, just like our inner light. And we're also going to do something that we always tell kids not to do, which is play with fire a little bit. And I saw Jade's eyes light up there. But we're going to see how a light, a flame, can ignite something around it. And then we're going to talk about what that means for our inner light and what that can do for those around us. And then I'm hoping they're going to dance with me, because we're going to talk about what makes our inner light shine, and for me, it's dancing. So I'm hoping that if I let them choose music, maybe we could do a little dancing as well. Yeah, okay. So it's going to be fun, and if the kids want to join me, we will go down and have some fun. You want to show the book so people can see? You show them this part? This is the book.
Oh, I feel so fine, got in me as me is me, and I'm just fine. Hey ho, I feel so free, 'cause God's having fun just being me. Hey ho, I feel so fine, got in me as me is me, and I'm just divine. Hey ho, I feel so free, 'cause God's having fun just being me. Woohoo! All right, wonderful. Anybody here for the first time today? Yay! Woohoo! Thank you for coming. Oh my God, we're so excited that you're here. Thank you. This is my wonderful friend Tommy. And I'm going to give you this little certificate, and we'd like to give you a free gift afterwards. So you can pick that up in the lobby, and you can come and visit us down in the mine shop. And anyway, how wonderful to have you here. Thank you for coming. We're so honored. Whoa, this is exciting. All right. Time, everyone, if you would. Could you check your cell phones right now? Just make sure they don't go off. Scare us all in the middle of you-know-who's talk today. Oh, she's here. She's sitting in the front row. Are we all excited? Yes. Yeah. Oh, all right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little health treatment for us all right now. So if you've got anything going on with yourself or friends or family, and you'd like to include them in that this morning, why don't you shout them out right now?
For me, for lots of sleep.
Okay, got it.
For me, for my knee.
All right, got it.
Lloyd, Marty, and Kathy.
Got it.
Kelsey, Kay, and Laura.
Thank you.
Betty and Michael.
Okay.
For my mom, Karen,
Sandy, say that again for me.
Karen and Ryan and Blake and Ginger.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Barry.
Okay.
Doug and Jim.
Okay. All right, here we go. Yes.
Martha.
Om Namah Shivaya. Whew. All right. Okay. Oh, going? Going once? My mother-in-law. Okay, thank you. Going all right. Going twice? Okay. Thank you. Done. Here we go. Okay. So here's the thing about this teaching, right? It's that there's only one presence. So what does that mean? Here's what it means. If there is only one presence, it must be being you, it must be being me, it is everyone in this room, it's everyone watching. And this oneness, this presence, this love, light, and presence created us all. Is it not possible then that it's possible to maintain us? Is it possible then that there is no separation? There is no separation between anyone in this room, online watching, or anywhere in the world. It's a myth. It's a distraction, and it fundamentally is not true, because you are and you always have been divine beings. And the programming in your body is designed to heal. And it heals by the grace and the glory of that divine presence, of which there is nothing else. So just drop that into your heart for a second. Let that wholeness and that light and that awe and that gratitude sit with you. What distracts us is in our insistence that we're apart from it. When what's really happening, I think, a lot of the time is it's just some kind of neurosis going on that insists that it's real, and it's not. So what we're doing is we're separating the neurosis from the neurotic. We're not our own neurosis. We make up ideas for ourselves about who we are. And then we blame ourselves for having those, and we blame the world for having and being the way that it is, and blah, and blah, and blah, and blah, and blah. Stop being a person and be a universe. Let that presence help you, move you, heal you, because you are perfect and whole and complete and loved beyond anything we can imagine. Let it be then that we are whole, prosperous, well, and happy, and we dance in the fields of the Lord with joy and grace and ease. And so it is. All right. Ooh. I guess today's music. And here he is, sitting in the front. Himself, the one, the only. Come on up, Adam. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. Is everyone doing amazing today on this Father's Day? That's great. All right, so for the first song I have today, I have Beautiful Boy by John Lennon, and although I can't really relate to it because I don't have my own son. I'm pretty sure many other fathers in the audience, including mine back there, his name is Mark Angel, if you didn't know, can relate to it. So here it is. Hope you enjoy. Close your eyes, have no fear. Oops. The monster's gone, he's on the run, and your daddy's here. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. Before you go to sleep, say a little prayer. Every day in every way it's getting better and better. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. Out on the ocean, sailing away. I can hardly wait to see you come of age. But I guess we'll both just have to be patient, 'cause it's a long way to go, a hard road to hoe. Yes, it's a long way to go, but in the meantime, before you cross the street, take my hand. Life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. Before you go to sleep, say a little prayer. Every day in every way it's getting better and better. Beautiful, 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 beautiful boy. Darling, 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 darling Sean. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice one, Adam. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, the time is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Can you wait? I'm honored and moved and delighted to introduce our speaker today. Karen Shihadeh is an extraordinary presence. She's been a wonderful friend, student, teacher. I remember we were doing Troward back in the day. God knows how many years ago that was. We were all doing that together. But, I said, I was in the class, how are we doing? Everybody all right? Everybody was, yeah, it's good. And then Karen said, no, it's not working for me. And I said, okay. And so, but we changed, and she was absolutely right. And then we were going through Troward, and we were doing it chapter by chapter, and I would read a little bit, and then and then we got to this one chapter, and I said, well, this this is pretty straightforward, I think. I don't think we need to spend too much time on this. And, well, could we go back? And she was absolutely right, because it was the chapter on intuition. And we dropped into it, and it was absolutely profound. So I just always listen to Karen right now, because she's always right about things. But let me tell you a little about her. Okay, so Reverend Karen Shihadeh, she grew up in the Southeast, the child of a soil scientist and a botanist, and she spent much of her time in the forests, fields, and farms and the swamplands of the Deep South, in Mississippi to the Blue Ridge Mountains, the Appalachians, in North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, and get this, please, fortified with degrees in biology, anthropology, sustainable agriculture, Spanish, and richly steeped in Appalachian culture, music, medicine, and storytelling. She spent over a decade traipsing across the country, in Texas, in Missouri, in North Carolina, in Maui, and in California. And she was following mammals, plants, and birds. And she spent 20 years as a terrestrial field biologist. And then, after the death of her father in 2009 and becoming a mum, the next 14 years teaching about spirituality and nature connection. And as we now know, during that time, she became an ordained minister of religious science and is currently completing a doctorate with the Emerson Theological Institute. Karen's intention as a teacher is for each person to feel heard, to feel safe, to feel and recognize their own unique spirit self, and to realize how important his or her gift is to the universe. Would you please give a huge CSA welcome to your very own Reverend Dr. Karen Shihadeh. Woo! Yay!
I can't believe you brought up that story about Troward. Oh, I thought you forgot that part. Oh, good morning, and happy Father's Day. I'm so grateful to be here. And the talk today I'm giving, the Book of Life, I do in honor of my own father, who passed away 14 years ago this week. My husband, Rami, the father of my children, amazing father. My spiritual teacher, Dr. Bill, thank you. And for our forefathers, and I don't mean our country's forefathers, I mean our spiritual forefathers. And there are many, and they come from many traditions, but the ones I draw from today are those prophets from the ancient Hebrew people. And this topic is something I've been working with for a long time, and I first presented it to the children, so they know the punchline that I'm going to get to in 30 minutes here. I only had 2 minutes to present it to you, and it's a really gift to me to go into it more deeply and to share it with you today. This idea of a book holding all the knowledge can be found in ancient history, throughout mythology, dating back to probably the beginning of written language in the Fertile Crescent. The book is said to contain the knowledge, the wisdom given to Adam and Eve after the fall, after their expulsion from the Garden of Eden. It contained the knowledge they needed to find their way back to God. And thus began the great story arc at the fabric of human existence, right? The hero's journey. And by the way, Eve was right to eat that apple. But that's another talk entirely. So for me, there's just something so exciting about a concept of a book like this. It inspires my imagination. So a roadmap to God, back to the garden. And did you realize there were more trees in the garden? There were many trees in the garden. And two of particular importance, there were the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. From Genesis 2, 8 through 9, 15 through 17, now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east, in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. And the Lord God commanded the man, "You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. For when you eat from it, you will certainly die." And so it came to pass, the split, dualism, ego was born. So before I go into the tale, I will say that for this talk today, I draw from the Old Testament and the Tanakh, sometimes called the Jewish Bible, and also from the book of Raziel. The book of Raziel is part of the Jewish esoterical mystical teachings of the practical Kabbalah, or the Zohar, and likely dates to the early Middle Ages, and some texts go back as far as the 1100s. And I came upon this story first, this concept of a book wherein all the wisdom is written in a book for children, because that's where all great stories come from. So, and as I retell this story to you, that story, I'll intersperse it with the quotes from the original sources I just mentioned. So back to the story. So after the fall, that is after the expulsion from the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve clothed themselves, and they worked and toiled on the earth to survive, and they had many children. And although they had been cast out, Adam prayed to God for forgiveness, and God loved them and sent to Adam the archangel Raziel and delivered it to him, the book of life. The book of life is also called the book of wisdom, the book of Adam, or the book of all knowledge. In Hebrew, Raziel means God is my mystery. And within Jewish mysticism, he is called the angel of secrets. He is one of the angels associated with the Sephirot Chokhmah of the Kabbalah, alongside Jophiel. Can you go back to the last slide on the Raziel and the Kabbalah? Yeah, okay, thank you. So it's up on the upper right side on my screen. He's on the very top, and Chokhmah, you can't barely see it, but he's up on the top, meaning wisdom. Right there is the uppermost part of the Sephirot, of the right line of the pillar of mercy. And it's called the pillar of mercy on that right side, and this, which is the Kabbalistic tree of life. From the Sefer Raziel, God sent forth Raziel, the angel, who dwelled upon the river going forth from the Garden of Eden. He was revealed to Adam as the sun went black. By his hand he gave the book to Adam, saying, "Do not fear, and lament no longer. For the day you served in prayer, your prayers were heard. I come to give the knowledge of the words of purity and great wisdom. Become wise by the words of this holiest book." Adam drew near and heard, yearning to be guided by the holy book. Raziel, the angel, opened the book and read the words. Hearing the words of the holy book from the mouth of Raziel, the angel, Adam fell upon the ground, trembling in fear. And Raziel spoke, "Rise up and be strong. Revere the power of God. Take the book from my hand and learn from it. Understand the knowledge. Make it known to all pure. Therein establish what will occur in all time." Adam took the book. A great fire kindled upon the river, upon the bank of the river, and the angel rose up in flames and returned to heaven. Then Adam knew the angel had been sent forth from Elohim, the Holy King, to deliver the book, sustained therein in holiness and purity. The words of the book proclaim works to perform when seeking to prosper in the world. The book is written with light written on light. It contains 72 signs of light. The angel taught Adam to read the signs in the book and said, "Before you die, you must give the book to a man whose soul is filled with the light of God, so that the wisdom of angels may continue to shine on earth." Then the angel of God led Adam to a cave, and in that cave the book remained until Adam could bestow it onto another. So in this way, Adam obtained great wisdom and the words of purity. You may recall that Adam and Eve had the twins Cain and Abel, and how that story happened, and Cain kills Abel. But later they had another son, and his name was Seth. Seth, as it is recorded, is the father of all humanity. So happy birthday, Seth. Great-great-great-grandfather, and more. And it was Seth who Adam realized after the death of Abel to be the inheritor of the book of life. The story goes that when Seth was 12 years old and Adam saw that he was a divine child, he took him by the hand and led him to the cave where the holy book was kept. And it was not written on parchment, it was light, written on light. And when Seth looked at it, he was blinded. He was unable to read the signs that were written with the script of the stars. And Adam said, "When I die, you shall be servant of the book of wisdom. Show it to no one, for it can be misused. When you have grown old, pass it on to someone from whose eyes the light of paradise shines. If you find no such person, seal the entrance to the cave. Then the book will be safe for later times." In time, following Adam's death, Seth learned to read and understand the book, and so became its keeper. And when Seth grew old, he found no one worthy of being its keeper, so he sealed the book in the cave. Many generations later, Enoch was born, and Enoch, when he was old enough, he was visited by the archangel Uriel. Enoch was resting by a brook one day when a majestic angel appeared to him. At first he thought, "Has my time come to die?" "No," said the angel, "I am sent by God to show you the cave in which Seth sealed the book of Adam." And the angel led him to the cave. Enoch broke through the wall and entered the holy chamber. It was a wide, light-filled cave whose walls glistened and gleamed with crystals. He had to turn his face away from the brightness of the book. And as he did so, he saw a casket. And the angel said to him, "Here lies the body of Adam. It has been kept for future times and will one day be carried to another place." Now the angel taught Enoch to read the book in which the wisdom of the world had been written. And Enoch remained in the cave for a very long time. His body needed neither nourishment nor drink because he was filled with the light of God and was nourished by him. And Enoch returned to men, his soul filled with wisdom and with holy light. Enoch became one of the greatest of prophets. And at the end of his life on earth, Genesis tells us that Enoch walked with God and he was no more, for God took him, which is interpreted as Enoch's entering heaven alive in some Jewish and Christian traditions. According to the Zohar and Talmud, Enoch is believed to have transformed from his living form into the archangel Metatron. And these sources tell us that Metatron is one of the most powerful of archangels, acting as celestial scribe to the book of life. The archangel Metatron created the Metatron's cube you see here. This image represents the universe as created by God and the connection between God and humanity, as well as between heaven and earth. After Enoch, it was Noah who became the keeper of the book, and the story goes on, much the same passed down through all the prophets: Shem, Abraham, Isaac, Moses, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah, and so on. It was always revealed by angels, sometimes through listening, sometimes reading, through drinking, and sometimes by eating the knowledge. And it was also given to King Solomon, who is one of my favorites, really. Solomon was known as the wise. Here he is meeting Makeda, the queen of Sheba. He is accredited with the writing of Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and the Song of Songs in the Bible. The Song of Songs, also called the Song of Solomon, is written in a poetic verse as a conversation between lovers. Solomon writes in the Song of Songs, Book 3, verse 1, "Asleep on my bed, night after night, I dreamed of the one I love. I was looking for him, but couldn't find him. I went wandering through the city, through the streets and alleys. I looked for the one I love. I looked, but couldn't find him. The watchman patrolling the city saw me. I asked him, 'Have you found my lover?' As soon as I left him, I found him. I held him and wouldn't let him go until I took him to my mother's house, to the room where I was born." It's so much longing in that, and mystery. Ancient Hebrew writings are full of symbolism. They're not straightforward, like Eastern teachings. The ancient Hebrews, like Jesus, spoke in parables. They taught in parables, in metaphors, in allegories, the meanings of which are far deeper and richer than they first appear. So, of course, after reading all this and researching it, my question is, where is the book of life, also called the book of wisdom, the book of Adam? And when I check in with my heart on the matter, I heard this story, and it's from Africa. It's one of my favorite stories. They're always one of my favorite stories. And this one has guided me a lot in my life, and it's not for children. So I've never told it downstairs, and I'm happy to share it with you right now. So the story is called The Lion and the Yellow-Flowered Zwartstorm Tree. A lion found a young man sleeping by the watering hole. He took hold of him and lifted him into the branches of the yellow-flowered zwartstorm tree, shoving his head in between the branches and wedging him in tight, and he went back to the watering hole to drink. And the young man woke up, and he tried to move, but found that he was held fast. And the lion saw this, came back, and pushed him in further, and so that he was held fast. Noticing there were tears running down his cheek, the lion licked the tears of its prey, and then it returned to the watering hole to drink, for it was very thirsty. And while the lion was drinking, the young man managed to escape and run away. And he made sure not to run directly to his home, but ran this way and that to disguise his tracks. And when he reached his home, he told everyone what had happened to him, and the whole village worked to disguise the scent and wrapped him in antelope skins, for they knew it was the nature of the lion to never let their prey go. The lion appeared near the village, and the people shot him again and again, but he would not die. And they threw children at him, but he ignored the children and would not eat them. And they threw women at the lion. Again, the lion ignored them and would not eat. And they kept shooting arrows and with spears, but it remained unhurt. The lion kept sniffing and searching and sniffing and searching for the young man. The lion wanted the young man, for it had licked its tears. It wanted no one else but the young man. The lion attacked the houses and knocked them down, and so the people pleaded with the mother to give him her son. At last she said she would, but insisted that the lion too must die. "Let the lion die and lie upon my son," she said. And the people gave the young man to the lion. and the lion killed him. And the people shot the lion, and this time the lion said, "Now I am ready to die. For I have the young man that I put in the yellow-flowered zwart-storm tree, the young man whose tears I licked, the young man that I have all this time been seeking. Now I have a hold of him, for I am his." And so the lion died, and the people laid his body on the body of the young man. It's like I need a campfire for that one. And marshmallows. It's disturbing when you first hear it, but consider this. It is allegorical. And the real meaning of this story is revealed in the line, "For I am his." It is really the story of a soul striving for, longing for the knowledge of God. How often are we asleep at the watering hole? Yeah. In Norse mythology, the giant Mimir guards the well of all knowledge. In baptism, we use water to be born again to God. The lion's body is laid atop of the man's body, heart to heart. In mythology, lion is a symbol of the heart for bravery, lion heart. There is a lion within each one of us, that insatiable, unsatisfiable, brave, and heartfelt desire to know God, more to even know, why are we here? What is the meaning of all this? That knowledge, the desire for the knowledge to find our way back to God, to the garden, to merge with divine oneness. Your being will do whatever it has to do to be aware of itself. The lion places a sleeping man in a tree. The lion is a spiritual messenger, raising him from the earth and into the tree of knowledge to higher consciousness. And the young man cries out, and his tears are soothed by his inner guide. The young man tries to run away back to his former life, to hide. But alas, he must give in, for it is his own soul wanting to know itself. So like the story from Africa, what if we consider that the story of the book of life is allegorical, a story of the soul's journey? What we know of the book of life is this: it contains all wisdom, pure wisdom. It is revealed by angels. It is written with light, written in light, so that one is blinded by it. You can't even look at it. It has 72 characters. Other sources say 72,000. It is held or sealed in a cave, and Adam is also in the cave. So let's look at these symbols one by one, metaphors. Adam. Hi, Adam. Thanks for doing the slides today. Adam literally means of the earth. He lies asleep next to the book, just as the young man, in the story, lies next to the watering hole. Uriel tells Enoch, "Here lies the body of Adam. It has been kept for future times and will one day be carried to another place." Yeah? So Adam is like ego. Wisdom. Adam, as we just said, is asleep next to the book of knowledge, next to wisdom. In Proverbs, King Solomon personifies divine wisdom as the feminine Sophia. Sophia is a transliteration of the Greek noun meaning wisdom. Hagios Sophia means divine wisdom. In Hebrew, the word for wisdom is chokmah. Sophia existed before the world was made, revealed God, called the divine origin, Yahweh, and together with God was the architect in creation. In the Bible, Sophia is mentioned many, many times, almost as much as Yahweh. In Judaism and early Christianity, there were always two, Yahweh and Sophia. Does this sound familiar? Okay, if you were here last week, you heard Dr. Bill talk of that same relationship personified in the Hindu story of Shiva and Shakti. Sophia is considered the creative vessel, and the masculine logos, or the word, created after Sophia, is the active doer. From Proverbs 8:22-31, the Lord created me, first of all, the first of his works long ago. I was made in the very beginning, at the first, before the world began. I was born before the oceans, when there were no springs of water. I was born before the mountains, before the hills were set in place, before God made the earth and its fields, or even the first handful of soil. I was there when he set the sky in place, when he stretched the horizon across the ocean, when he placed the clouds in the sky, when he opened the springs of the ocean and ordered the waters of the sea to rise no further than he said. I was there when he laid the earth's foundations. I was beside him like an architect. I was his daily source of joy, always happy in his presence, happy with this world, pleased with the human race. Sophia shows us in this wisdom. Sophia creates. From Sirach 15, this is on the screen. Happy is the person who meditates on Sophia, who reflects in one's heart on Sophia's ways and ponders her secrets, pursuing her like a hunter and lying in wait on her paths. Sophia is also a metaphor for the tree of life in the Bible, the vessel from which all worlds were created. I think I have another slide here from Buddha. Yeah, with our thoughts, we make the world. I will intersperse some Eastern talk in here because it is more straightforward. I like to get to the point. Okay, so angels, like the lion in the story, of course, angels are our spiritual messengers. The word angel is derived from the late Greek, which actually means messenger. And angels and lions have been associated for a very long time. The four-faced cherubim are not actually fat, flying babies, little babies. They are part lion, and they're incredibly frightening. And every prophet who has ever encountered an angel in all of the stories is really scared, really frightened, blinded, or crying. It's not a pleasant experience. So, and that was just like the young man in the story who cries. And also like the young man, people are always soothed in the presence of angels. Many also try to flee and disappear back to their former lives. Think of Jonah, who ran away and had to be swallowed in the belly of the whale in order to do the will of God. So, and light. So light is a big part of this story. Light is a symbol of knowledge. Lisa talked about that this morning. Light's the symbol of knowledge. Light of God is awareness or knowledge of the self, divine wisdom, Hagia Sophia, Yahweh and Sophia, God knowing itself. Krishna explains to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verse 18, the nature of God. He is the source of light in all luminaries and is entirely beyond the darkness of ignorance. He is the knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the goal of knowledge. He dwells within the heart of all living beings. Right here. So then we have this word, the 72, this number 72. Why 72? Why 72 symbols of light? 72 is the number of the letters in the name of God, according to the Kabbalistic tradition, and that is shortened to Yahweh, YHWH. And according to Exodus, the 72 names of God are represented in these trigrams, and there's 72,000 is the number of nadis that circulate the human body or the life force energy. So wisdom reveals God. These are the names of God in light. And it's so bright, we're blinded by it. Can't use your eyes to see it. Then there's the cave. Caves are really common images in the world of myths, legends, and religions. The cave is thought to be closely related to the heart and is often the place where the higher self and ego unite, the divine with the human. It's the center, so it's divine, human, heaven, earth, in the center, of the cross here. Caves hold both treasures and the dragons who guard them. Joseph Campbell wrote, "It is by going down into the abyss that we recover the treasures of life." The cave, while initially may seem intimidating, holds the very essence of what we seek. Where you stumble, there lies your treasure. The very cave you're afraid to enter turns out to be the source of what you're looking for. And according to Carl Jung, caves are symbols of self-realization, places of magic, transformation, and rebirth, like going back into the womb. So recall that strange end to the poem from Song of Solomon, "I held him and wouldn't let him go until I took him to my mother's house, to the room where I was born." This is another reference to Sophia. The searching in this poem is like the lion hunting the man until his egoic death, being reborn. And this poem, Solomon's poem, is also about Sophia searching for a dwelling place. From the book of Enoch, chapter 42, wisdom found no place where she could dwell, and her dwelling was heaven. Wisdom went out in order to dwell among the sons of men, but did not find a dwelling. Wisdom returned to her place and took her seat in the midst of angels. Okay, so let us now weave this all together, all this symbols and metaphors. There's a cave. The cave is in the heart of all living beings. In the cave lives divine wisdom, Sophia, your mother's house, the pure knowledge of God. Mark said it before, I gave it away, the tree of life. So remember when I said in the beginning there are two trees, the tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The cave of your heart is the Metatron's cube, the connection between heaven and earth, between divine and human, thought and creation, word and action, Yahweh, Sophia, Logos, all dwell there. It is the axis mundi. There are many names for axis mundi in mythology. These are cosmic axis, world pillar, center of the world tree, and tree of life. This means that you are the tree of life, the pure, holy, creative vessel of God and wisdom. Wisdom, Sophia, dwells in you. In the Patanjali Yoga tradition, there's a meditation on Sutra 136 called the Cave of the Heart meditation. Vishoka va jyotishmati. Vishoka, that which is devoid of worry and grief. Va and or. Jyotishmati, that which is filled by light, that which is accompanied by light. Please join me now in dropping down into the heart. It is called dropping down in the Quaker tradition, and I like that. I think of that often. Drop down and concentrate on the luminous state of the heart, which is beyond all sorrow. In your heart space is where everything meets: the mind, the senses, your soul, heaven and earth, the universe. Your heart is like a deep bowl, vast. Give yourself over to her now. This is where you belong. This is your home. Whenever you feel lost, you can come back to this sanctuary. Come back to your heart. Imagine it now. There is this bright light, glowing light within your heart space. This is the supreme light within you. That is the center of your being and being all things, God. Its luster and brightness are brighter than the sun, the moon, and other celestial bodies. The divine pure light is so bright you close your eyes and you bask in it. And you are free beyond fears and worries or doubts or anxiety. You feel neither hunger nor thirst in its presence. It fills you totally. And you know that if you ever feel disconnected or incomplete, you can come back to this place again and again, in this place of luminosity, and you feel the warmth wash over you. And here lies your treasure. Here lies the kingdom of heaven within your heart. A place so full of light, it dispels all darkness. When you reside in the cave of the heart, you merge with the divine self, transcending all sorrow, and bask in everlasting joy. In Judaism, this is called the Star of David. In the Christian mystics, it's called the Sacred Heart. In Buddhism, it's Amitabha. In Hinduism, it's Narayana. It is the pure light of awareness residing there in your heart under the yellow-flowered Zwart storm tree, the tree of life. And for this hero's journey, the path back to the garden, we say thank you, God, Yahweh, Sophia, and so it is.
Wow, thank you. Well, speaking of life, the next song is actually an original that I wrote. I haven't really, it wasn't originally played on the piano, so I tried to, weave the chords and little intervals and little, those things into the piano. But this is an original. It was inspired about all the fun things that I experienced in my life, all the amazing things. So here it is. New York, the city, staring up at the ceiling, talking about all our deepest pities. 1 o'clock in the morning, laughing to each other while everybody else was snoring. The rush, the feeling, the dopamine, the healing, the comfort, the joy, the content, the choice. I'm driving on this highway. I only see the wide expanse, road trips on endless Fridays. Why wait when I just got the chance? I'll smell the breeze and taste the sunshine, feel the wind, I'll make it alright. Still got a long ride to go, the rest stop appears before you know. Halloween, the party, trick or treating at 7:30. Spin the bottle about 200 times, kissed another's lips and realized that they'd be mine. The rush, the feeling, the sunset walk, the healing, the pumpkins, the voice, the content, the choice. I'm driving on this highway, I only see the wide expanse. Road trips on endless Fridays. Why wait when I still got the chance? I'll smell the breeze and taste the sunshine, feel the wind, I'll make it alright. Still got a long ride to go, the rest stop appears before you know. The warm rain of the summer season, a clear sky, and my slow breathing. The dark night is all that matters, the soul sound of the pitter-patter, the rumble of the mighty thunder, the mumble of my own mother, the silence of this loud scene, the joy of being 15. I'm driving on this highway, I only see the wide expanse. Road trips on endless Fridays. Why wait when I still got the chance? I'll smell the breeze and taste the sunshine, feel the wind, I'll make it alright. Still got a long ride to go, the rest stop appears before you know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adam. Thank you very much. Is this working? Yeah. Good morning. I'm Reverend Cynthia Johnson Bianchetta, and I'm here to create the conscious giving portion of our Sunday service today. I woke up this morning with two words that came to me, grace and gratitude. And wouldn't you know, I opened my computer where my husband leaves a love letter for me every morning when he gets up. And I also listened on my phone where he records something from the Course in Miracles, and it was all about grace. So I love these connections when they happen. And of course, in conscious giving, we have grace involved, and we have giving involved, and we have gratitude involved. So I would love for the ushers to come up, and for the ushers to come up. Someone can't hear me, right? So for the ushers to come up, and we'll do a prayer treatment. I always like to start, as Karen was suggesting, in the cave of the heart. So if you care to join me by closing your eyes, I like to place the left hand, the receptive hand, over the heart, with the right hand on top of the left. And as we breathe into the heart cave, this place of divine love that dwells within us, we take that energy, we send it into the left hand, up the left arm, across the shoulders, back down the right, out the right hand and back into our own heart. So in essence, we are enveloping ourselves, embracing ourselves in our own loving, divine heart cave energy. And as we ground through our feet or through our seats, and we move the energy up through all the chakras to the crown, we open up and we receive this divine gift, this divine abundance that comes from the one source of all life, that one source that dwells within us in our life. In this teaching, we know that there's only one. There's only one presence. There's only one source. And it flows in and through us, in our lives, through every avenue of prosperity and abundance, through good health, through wealth, through our finances, through our relationships, through our home space, through our growth and our spiritual life. It's all being provided for us. Through the grace of God, all is given unto us. And so we say thank you in gratitude for all the many blessings that are in our life already. And we open ourselves to receive the divine flow. So we release this prayer treatment saying thank you. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. Thank you for this center, this place where we come every Sunday to remember. We come to remember who we truly are, and we come to remind each other. And so it's through this grace, through this giving, through this gratitude that I release this prayer treatment, and so it is. So you can deposit your Lakshmi envelope as the ushers come around, and if you are watching us at home, there's a donate button, so you're able to offer your gifts through donation online. Oh, also I brought this little book along with me today. If you're not familiar with the Abundance Book, anyone ever do the Abundance Book practices? Yeah, aren't they great? 40 days of affirmations, and it truly is a gift from John Randolph Price. I'm sure we have it in the Mind Shop. Do we, David? Do we, Karen?
We do. We've got about 6.
Oh, good. We've got it. So I will be through these doors after the service today offering prayer treatments for anyone who is interested. And this is complimentary, so please come join me. And if you have a treatment that requests that you'd like to put in the box in the back of the room, you're welcome to do that as well, and we'll take them home and do them for you this week. Thank you. Do we have our affirmation? Okay, let's say this together, please. I am conscious of my inner presence as my lavish abundance. I am totally confident in letting go and letting God appear as the abundant all-sufficiency in my life and for CSA. And so it is. Thank you.
Thanks, Cynthia, so much. Woo! I tell you what, let's sing happy birthday to someone, shall we? Why not? Karen, Shihadeh. Stand, yes, we must stand, yes. Woo! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Karen. Happy birthday to you. Awesome. All right. Well, as you can see on your screen, Sound of Soul is coming up. It's going to be in the garden. It's going to be on June the 23rd. So, not familiar with this, but you're invited to experience chancing who? Contemplative time and spiritual conversion with others of like heart. Okay, with Ekenard, and that's coming up on June the 23rd. Oh, awesome. But get this. Guess who's coming? Miranda McPherson is coming back. Oh, my heavens, how wonderful. July the 30th, guest speaker at 10 a.m. And I think she's going to be giving a talk. It's entitled Opening to Divine Love. And also, after the service, Miranda will be giving a workshop called Cultivating Grace. Let me just check the date with you, sweet things, at the back there, because I've got two dates. I've got July the 30th and June the 30th. So which one?
No, it's July 30th.
It's July the 30th. Okay. Okay. And the workshop's going to be called Cultivating Grace, and that'll be $35. And you can get for that online or flyers in the foyer. All right. Moving on. Also coming back is David Holodiloff. Oh, it'll be so great to see him again. That's awesome. Thank you. Coming in August or early September. So stay tuned for that. And good heavens, the angels are at it again. The performing duo. Come and tell us about Sirena.
Hi, everybody. We just want to tell you that we're going to be in a musical play. It's a pirate musical, and Adam's going to be the first mate, and I'm going to be the captain. It's the first time in a play we've been in together where we'll actually be acting opposite each other. And we even have a small duet together. It's one of the things, as a dad, I tell you, one of my highlights of my life is being able to do these types of things with Adam. I just love being able to, be a part of his life in that way and have him a part of my life. So I hope that you guys can come. We have these little cards. Sometime in the middle of the week, we'll figure it out. But these little cards are going to be available for you to buy at the Mind Shop later on this week. And they'll get, once you pay for the $25, it gets a stamp on it, and that'll be your ticket. You still have to get in early and get a seat. But 10% of all the sales will go to CSA. So it's a way to contribute a little bit to CSA. And yes, Marin? Oh, and on the 2nd, we're going to try to get a bunch of people from CSA to go to the 2 o'clock matinee, which is Sunday. That's the last show. So it goes from the 28th to the 2nd. Adam, you want to say anything?
Oh, I think you said it all. Oh, it's an original musical by the Big Sur Fatal Camp, so it's not anywhere else. So.
Yeah, all the music was written by, and the story was written, and we helped with that, and it's pretty cool to be a part of. So please come.
Okay. Just watch out for parking problems because they're still doing the streets until July the 22nd, I think. They did our street this week. It's really impressive, A couple of days before, some guys came around and they just sort of put some sticky stuff on the cracks, and then it's just one guy and a truck. And two guys on the back with brooms running, running in the end. Anyway, they did one side of the street and then the other and up the middle. I swear they were done in a couple hours, and now we have this beautiful new street. So I'm kind of grateful for that. I'm grateful for guys working and all sorts of stuff like that. I find that very moving. I have a friend called Gail, and she's animal crazy. And anyway, she's got these two friends that come every day. One is a squirrel, and one is a blue jay. And she called the squirrel Seth. And I just thought, isn't that amazing how that light and that specialness comes in such small packages, because everything is truly everything. That's why we get enlightened looking at the dew on the morning rose, or maybe
our day lights up because the squirrel visits you. Or I see the light in your eyes, or your sweetness. Amazing. Om Namah Shivaya. The circle group will meet, yes, with Dr. Timothy today. So have a cup of coffee and some cake and come back in. Affirmative prayer back there with Reverend Cynthia. Thank you so much, Cynthia, for doing that. So come on back and get some treatment. Yes, of course, there is birthday cake and refreshments, and you can talk with Karen at the back, and we'll talk and celebrate Father's Day. And that's it from me. Here comes Sifu Archangel to close us up. Thank you for being here today. It's been lovely to be with you this morning.
If we could all rise. So the earth is pushing up into our feet, and our feet are the roots, the tree of life deep in the earth. We are the tree of life. We are the tree of life. And as we draw our hands up, we feel the juices of the earth energy flowing up through our roots into our bodies. And as we reach up, we feel the wisdom of the heavens coming down into us, filling us with that life force that makes us light beings. That blending of wisdom and life. Again, deep breath in. This is the book of wisdom coming into us, into our hearts. And this is what it means to bring yin and yang together to create life force. Again. Allow the arms to cross in front this time. And let there be peace on earth.